Yeah. Basically, prerequisite for this is I have explained. Now, things required. So basically, Android apps runs on the following things, mostly, and they are developed using this Java, C++, and Kotlin, and everything. Details have been given. So we'll move ahead. So this is basically the Android application structure. So this is the structure, like the application, the framework, the libraries being used by it, and the Linux kernel and the Android runtime. This is all we need to go through. So this is the manifest file that I have been explaining. Inside that also there is a library file, then there is a assets, then there is a classes.dex as we have shown through decompilation. Then further Android app components, Android activity is for the user interface that we are saving. The services are the backend thing. Broadcast receivers are to outside the different outlets. Content providers are there. So these are the components. This is the file structure basically. So when the developer is developing, it will look like this in this his developing like Google SDK. Then it looks like this. For the then improper basically I'm going to cover the OWASP top 10. So in OWASP top 10, first feature is the improper platform usage. First or the basic thing is that application should not get installed on a rooted device. It is a basic check that needs to be implemented by a developer. So this kind of checks needs to be implemented. And further mitigation, even what happens is sometimes the sensitive data they are storing in the configuration files. This sensitive data should not be stored on configuration files. Instead of that, you can make use of Android keychain. That is secure development practice. And also we should look for malicious intents. We should not avoid unnecessary services to export data. So exported should be set to false. So further then the communication, and check for file permissions in like mode word readable and mode word writable permissions. This also need to be checked. Further local storage, like when we go to the after installation, when we go to the internal after rooting, we can get access to internal files. These files contain information in clear text. So this should not be in a clear text. It should be encrypted and stored properly. See, mitigations for this I have shown, setting storage to encryption and using a library for encryption by the developer. This all can be implemented. Further, avoiding insecure communications. So communication over HTTP should be avoided, and then this should be taken care. Further, we go ahead and further SSL pinning is important. Even if you implement HTTPS, it does not guarantee that your application cannot be intercepted. So you need to implement proper X509 certificate and SSL pinning to avoid applications from being intercepted using various tools. So this kind of thing is need to be implemented, and even you should not accept this kind of certificates like this mentioned over here. Further, we go ahead. Insufficient cryptography. So the application is using cryptography. Sometimes the application uses encryption, but the encryption is so weak that it can be decrypted, like the MD5 and all. So we should avoid that kind of bad algorithms to be used. Further, insecure authentication. Like what happens is, in insecure authentication, the hard coding of passwords in the local storage and in the code itself. So if like I'm using APK tool, I can decompile and get the internal sensitive passwords and details. So we should avoid storing that kind of thing in the APK, and you should store that in a secure way, server side, and validated that, not on the client side in the APK provided. So you can try basic things like SQL injection and all. Mitigation, so mitigate this thing, authentication bypass and all. We use multi-factor authentication, passwords, MPIN to avoid, like after some time a session should expire. If session is not expiring, MPIN should be implemented. That needs to be entered in to get back into the session or get back into the application, other than the normal security features. And also server-side validation I told. Further we go ahead. Insecure authorization, like sometimes what happens in one user is able to view details of another user, that should be avoided. Further, to avoid insecure authorization, proper use of JWT token, JSON Web Token should be done, and access to such token should be expire after certain interval, and also proper access control should be provided to all the users. And this JW token should have a private keys being used so that no one can decompile or read the contents of the token easily. Next, client quality. So client code quality they should follow the SDL, software development lifecycle process. Then further, what we need to do is like avoid storing personally identified information. Like some applications try to store personal information, like when you enter in some critical applications like banking or some, they try to store that information. The stored information should be not be hard coded or like in plain text. It should be encrypted and used in proper way that it does not get to the hands of the malicious hackers. And further, you can analyze your code using source code reviews. You can use for Java find bugs, and there are other tools like checkmarks and all. Further, we move ahead. Like, yeah, what happened is like APK tool we use for decompiling. Even similarly, you can rebuild APK using you can rebuild APK with after tampering using APK tool. So you can after rebuilding that APK, you can resign that application and reproduce and distribute that application. So avoid installing application from other sources other than the Play Store. So that is very essential. And even you need to check for the certificates.